Samsung, founded in 1938 as a small trading company, has transformed into one of the world's most valuable companies. The company began as a small trading company selling noodles, dried fish, and local vegetables. Lee Byung-chul, who founded Samsung at the age of 28, had a clear vision for the company and chose the name Samsung to represent something big and powerful. After the Korean War, the country faced a shortage of commodities and heavily relied on imports. Lee decided to diversify his business and create affordable goods for the public. He started by creating a sugar refinery and then opened the largest woolen mill in Korea. This allowed Samsung to expand into textiles and finished products like clothing. To survive, Lee reinvested the money into other areas, such as opening a department store and getting into the insurance business. In 1968, Samsung executives decided to enter the electronics market. A year later, they were fully set up and created a 12-inch black and white TV. Within a decade, they became the world's #1 black and white TV manufacturer due to efficient assembly line production. They also began producing various home appliances, such as microwaves, air conditioners, color TVs, and personal computers. To control their supply chain, Samsung bought a semiconductor company to have full control over the supply chain. They used these chips in their own products and sold them globally to other electronics manufacturers. One of Samsung's many customers is Apple, which has used Samsung memory chips in their iPhones. Samsung has transformed from a small trading company selling noodles, dried fish, and local vegetables to one of the world's most valuable companies. Samsung, a leading smartphone company, has expanded into various industries beyond its core product line. Its divisions include Samsung Heavy Industries, which specializes in making giant ships, and Samsung Construction and Trading, which builds roads, tunnels, bridges, and buildings. Samsung also owns South Korea's largest theme park, Everland, and owns hotels and a place called Samsung Town. Samsung's success in mobile phones, consumer monitors, and gadgets is just the tip of the iceberg. However, the true story lies in the controversial fact that following the Korean War, South Korea was in a poor state and needed to expand its economy. The president supported large Korean businesses by offering easy financing, protection from competition, and favorable loans. This allowed Samsung and other big companies to grow larger, which ultimately helped the overall country's economy. The South Korean government banned other countries like Japan from selling electronics in South Korea, pushing consumers towards Samsung products. Additionally, the government reduced taxes on electronics companies operating in the country by 50%. Samsung, being the biggest company in the industry at the time, benefited more than anyone else. The government funneled American relief money received after the war directly into Samsung, allowing them to rapidly expand. Founder Lee made strategic political connections with South Korea's presidents, leading to special treatments for Samsung. Other companies had export limits, and government-associated banks offered generous credit terms to Samsung. However, when Lee used the money from these banks to stop buying those banks, it became clear that Samsung's expansion into various industries was not just about expanding its brand, but also about building an empire. The government's support for Samsung has significantly impacted South Korea's economy, particularly in terms of employment and wealth. However, this support often hurts smaller Korean businesses, as Samsung could crush anyone it wanted when entering new markets. Some view Lee as a symbol of corruption, and it is possible that the South Korean economy is now over-reliant on one single company. Samsung is one of South Korea's family-owned conglomerates that have built giant empires through close government ties. This means that just a few families in South Korea have a vast amount of the country's wealth, power, and influence. When founder Lee Byung-chul died in 1987, his son Lee Kun-hee took over the business, which has led to controversy. In 1996, Lee was charged with bribing a former president, but the president at the time pardoned him without further action. In 2008, Lee was found guilty of managing a political swamp fund used to bribe prosecutors and politicians. He apologized and stepped down from the company. But within 2 years, the new South Korean president pardoned him, and Lee Kun-hee went back to work as the chairman of Samsung. Despite the overwhelming evidence, the tight connections between Samsung and the government have led to accusations of corruption and tax evasion. A controversial book, Think Samsung, by Samsung's former chief legal counsel, alleged that Lee Kun-hee stole around $9 billion from Samsung's subsidiaries and bribed government officials to guarantee his son's success as head of the company. Most South Korean media refuses to mention this book, as an attack on Samsung can be perceived as an attack on South Korea itself. It is possible that the media simply didn't want to get on Samsung's bad side due to its powerful company. Samsung, a giant conglomerate of hundreds of thousands of employees, has been criticized for its vast influence over the government, media, and the entire country. However, it is important to note that this is not a complete story, as there are other significant incidents in Samsung's history. One such incident was the fire of a Samsung Note 7 smartphone in 2016, which caused multiple phone explosions worldwide and led to airlines banning the phone from flights. Samsung initially did nothing about these incidents, but as more phone explosions occurred, the media picked up the story and forced Samsung to stop production and recall the products, costing them over $5 billion. The reputational damage was further exacerbated by the initial replacement product, which also had an overheating problem due to the battery being blamed as the issue. The real root of the problem can be traced back to Samsung's ongoing battle with Apple in 2011. Apple sued Samsung in 2011 for copying the design of their iPhone, demanding billions of dollars. Samsung executives were determined to create something new and change the narrative of Samsung being followers instead of leaders. They launched the Galaxy Note series, a cross between a tablet and a smartphone, with the Note 7 model demanding new features and tight deadlines with aggressive specifications. While Samsung has done plenty of good in South Korea, its success story is not entirely fair due to the actions of a few individuals. Samsung engineers recall the intense pressure to produce the Note 7 device on time, which led to a chaotic rush to finish the product. They didn't realize they had rushed the product too much, cramming too many features and not spending enough time on quality control. Despite this, Samsung sold millions of these dangerous phones worldwide and spent a lot of money on marketing. They tried to suppress information about the incident, such as parody videos on YouTube using Galaxy Note 7s as exploding grenades. This backfired further as attempts at censorship created more buzz and controversy. Despite the drama, Samsung has continued to have incredible success with their products and owners, creating innovative products like the folding iPhone and generating more revenue than companies like Google and Microsoft. They will likely continue entering new markets and prove that with hard work, anyone can turn their small business into a giant empire. This is it for today. I hope you guys find this video informative and interesting. So do like and share this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe our channel BizVentures Media and hit the bell icon to stay tuned with us.